All right, so first day of the new semester. The first thing I want to do is let's go over to World Studies. You'll notice that whenever you go over to World Studies, it looks the same, but whenever you go to your grade book, so if I go to the student app, and hopefully you saw this in your first class, but I'm going to show you this again. This is my mock fake student account. So if I go in here, I will still see my grade for the class on the home page. But when I go in and go to my grade book as a student, taking a second to load, you will see that it says fall semester at the top. If you click on that, you can now look at the different semesters, okay? You can go to spring semester, and you'll see that there is one assignment in spring semester, okay? So you can see your spring semester grade versus your fall semester grade, okay? And you can also see your full all periods grade, okay? I think at some point it will default to spring semester whenever you go to your grade book, and you'll only be able to see spring semester. But for now, for some reason, it's default. What is yours defaulting to? It is defaulting to spring. Is everyone doing that? Whenever you go right to the grade book, does it show spring? Yes, Leonard says yes. Yeah, you should see this. Maybe two, like persuasive technology project, and it should say journal activity. And that's it. Is that what y'all are seeing when you first go into grade? Okay, so yours does pop up to spring. So that will give you your score. Right now, your score is blank. You have no score for this. So your first assignment is this what we're doing today is journal activity. Okay, so that's your first assignment. So whatever you get on the assignment, you're setting your benchmark. You're setting your foundation for the semester. You do it, you get 100%. You got 100% in the class for this semester. If you don't do it, you get a 0. You got a 0 in the class. So let's start off on the right foot today. Okay? So I know it's a little strange. And those who are sitting in here, you might not be enrolled in the class yet, but I'll get you in there in just a second. Just hang on while I get everybody started. All right, if we go back to looking at our agenda, let me go back to my agenda. Yes, Aiden, I see that you are not in the class yet, but I will get you in the class before the end of this Google Meet. Just kind of hang out, and I'll get you where you need to go. Okay. Sorry. Let's go ahead and get those students in the class just because they'll know where we're looking. And I forgot we had someone at home that's in that situation. So the way we're going to do this, it's not what I want. Goodness gracious. Sorry. Come on. All right, hold on just a second. Sorry. Yeah. There's a 1-minute video if you want to watch it. All right, so we are back, and this is the number for you at home, Aiden. Whenever that number comes up, there's that number that you need to join the class. For you all in here that need to join the class, it is R0EN53. And the way you do that is quick. All right, for you all that are in here, you go up to your name that's in the top right-hand corner, click on that, and then it should say Enroll in Course. Whenever you click on Enroll in Course, it'll come up a little number. You type in R0EN53. And I think those are only two that you need to get in here and then at home. So make sure you're enrolled in the course. Did that work for you, Aiden? Did you put R0EN53 or RO? It's R0EN53. And if that doesn't work for you, then I'll get with you at the very end to make sure we get you logged in. Okay, Aiden? Did that work for you all in here? Good, good. Okay. All right, so let's talk about what we're doing today. Sorry about that. What we are doing today, we are continue reading Act 5. Tomorrow, we have a quiz over Acts 3, 4, and 5. Okay? So there is a quiz. As long as you have been paying attention, following along, either reading the graphic novel or reading with me, watching the videos that I posted, you are going to be fine. Okay? If you've been paying attention. It wouldn't hurt to, if you get done early today, to go over and make sure you're looking at that. Make sure your character analysis is done. Okay? Talking about tomorrow, let's look at tomorrow because I will not be here. Just to give you a really quick heads up, I won't be here, but that's not going to change what we're doing. Okay? We're going to keep working. So everyone will take the Romeo and Juliet quiz tomorrow. And then Group A students that are at home, that are working from home, you all will kind of have a work day to make sure you're all caught up. And I have posted all of the assignments from Romeo and Juliet. If you don't have any of those done, even the ones that are from last semester, I'm allowing you to make sure you have all of those done. So if you're a Group A student, you're working on those, okay? If you finished all those and you go through each one, you're like, I got them done. I did them to the best of my ability. Then you are finished with those assignments and you're done for the day, okay? Group B students, you all that are in here right now, you are going to be watching Romeo and Juliet, the 1968 movie. I've shown you clips of it. We're going to put it all together and let you watch the movie, okay? We won't be able to watch the entire thing because it's 2 hours long, but you get to watch about the first hour of it, and you get to really kind of enjoy and get to see what that's like. And then we'll switch that on Tuesday. So to give you a heads up, tomorrow is a work day for those at home to make sure you're all caught up. Group B students that are here are going to watch the movie, and then we'll switch that on Tuesday. Group B students will have kind of work day to make sure they're all caught up, and Group A students will watch the movie, okay? That's tomorrow. Big thing there is that quiz. Make sure that you're ready for that quiz. So today, we're going to read or watch Act 5 of Romeo and Juliet. We've done this the last couple of days, and you all seem to like the graphic novel or the choice there. So you are going to choose either to read with me in the video, or you're going to look at the graphic novel and read the graphic novel. Same thing we've been doing. And then there are 3 scenes from the movie that you can watch. Romeo's death, Juliet's death, and Romeo and Juliet's funeral, okay? We knew that they were going to die from the very beginning of the play, from the prologue. They told us that our star-crossed lovers are going to end their lives in this play, okay? And how many days has this play been going on up to Act 5? How many days? Huh? 4 days. So Act 1 is 1 day. Act 2 is 1 day. Act 3 is 1 day. And Act 4 is 1 day. Okay? And then Act 5 is the last day. So this play is 5 days. Okay? So you can see how kind of exaggerated this is. Okay? And this all of these issues, what does it go back to? What's wrong with this play, Javion? Misinformation. People not talking. People not communicating. People having secrets, telling lies, okay? This feud between their families, okay? Them not willing to own up to that, okay? And we see these mistakes again and again and again. Juliet makes these mistakes. Romeo makes these mistakes. Friar Lawrence, the nurse, all of these people, okay? But then on the other side, you have the anger of the families. And where do we see, who are our most angry characters? Or someone else. Who's a really angry character in Romeo and Juliet that's always looking for a fight? Mason? Tybalt. Tybalt's always looking for a fight, okay? Who's another character? I wouldn't characterize him as angry, but he's kind of a silly character, kind of crude, and he definitely picks a fight. What was his name? It's kind of a hard name. Kirby. Mercutio, yeah, Mercutio is looking for this fight, okay? And he's angry. And then we have the Lord Montague and Lady Montague and the Lord Capulet and Lady Capulet who hate one another. And there's just all this anger behind this misinformation and this wanting to hurt one another. Okay, so all of this is coming to completion in Act 5. Okay, so we're going to read about how Romeo and Juliet end up dying, and it is a sad, tragic, terrible ending to this play because we end up having so many characters dead. Okay, and then Romeo and Juliet make this terrible, very ignorant, misinformed, immature decision to take their lives in the end. Okay, and you're going to just kind of see that, and you're going to sit there as the reader and go, "Oh my gosh, what in the world?" Okay, and if you were an act, or if you were in the audience during the Shakespearean time, you would be sitting there almost like just flabbergasted and broken and just so angry yet sad in this moment because of what's happened. Okay. After you read Act 5, you're going to finish your character analysis assignment. Okay, that character analysis assignment, I had it as due yesterday. I'm going to switch that to today, and you are going to be going in and you are going to make sure you have done all the characters throughout. Save that. That I've listed in the agenda. You can go back and look at each day of the agenda to see who we have for that. For Act 5, we want you to look at Romeo, Juliet, Friar Lawrence, Capulet, Juliet's father, and Montague, Romeo's father. Okay, and all of these characters have a significant role, especially at the very end of the play with Capulet and Montague and the friar. Okay, and that will go down in the last section, Act 5. So you're going to get a character description of them and then one quote for each. Again, your assignment says 3, but you only need to do 1, okay? That originally 3 was for a group of people working together, so you only have to do 1 each, okay? Any questions on the character analysis assignment? We've been doing that for the last 4 acts, so I don't think there'll be any questions. The last thing you're going to be doing is a journal activity. We started this project with a journal activity, looking at how technology impacts teenagers, and now we're going to kind of continue that thought process, looking at this journal activity of how misinformation and who is to blame for Romeo and Juliet's death. And this one also says yesterday for some reason. I'll fix that one as well. But you're going to be thinking on this, who is to blame for Romeo and Juliet's death? Why did they die in the end? Are they to blame? Are their parents to blame? Is it the friar? Who is it? So let's take a look at this assignment. It says at the top, for this assignment, open the template provided, follow the instructions, and submit. For those who have not read Romeo and Juliet with us, all you have to work on is Act 5. So and there's a lot in Act 5 that you can kind of be like, okay, like that person made a mistake, that person, because they admit to these mistakes. So you can kind of do your best with writing this, okay? So if we open up that template, it will look like this. I'll zoom in. Actually, we'll zoom in like this. Yeah, it's better. All right, so let's read this together. So I'm going to give you a second. Everybody open up that assignment. Go ahead and go to that template and open up that assignment. This. All right, so for this assignment, reading this together, for this assignment, you will write a 2-paragraph journal entry. So 2 paragraphs. You can write more than 2 if you'd like, but you don't have to. Cole, were you going to say something? No, okay, sorry. In this journal entry, you will respond to the question, who is to blame for the death of Romeo and Juliet? Who is to blame? So I give you kind of a prompt for each paragraph, how I want you to write this. In the first paragraph, you will provide a brief retelling of the tragedy of Romeo and Juliet. This may be more than 1 paragraph, but should be no shorter. So if you want to go into more depth, you can go into a couple of paragraphs if you'd like, but 1 paragraph at minimum, okay? And in the retelling, you should be thinking, who are you going to blame? Is it Friar Lawrence? Is it Romeo and Juliet? Is it their parents? Is it Paris? Is it the prince? Who is it? You know, whoever you want to pick, okay? But in that retelling of the story, you definitely want to highlight them. And then in the second paragraph, you will explain who you think is at fault for the death of Romeo and Juliet. And I give you some kind of places to start your thinking on, okay? Was it Romeo's fault for pursuing Juliet, who was younger? Was it Juliet's fault because she should have known better than to fall for Romeo, who falls in and out of love so easily? Because if you remember at the beginning of the play, he loved Rosalind, and then all of a sudden he sees Juliet and immediately forgets Rosalind and falls in love with Juliet. Was it Friar Lawrence's fault because he was the older person, a clergyman, and a mentor to Romeo? He was the adult in the situation, essentially. Was he to blame? Was it the parents' fault for not knowing what was happening to their children and not paying enough attention to their children? Who do you think is to blame for their death? Now, if you tell me, well, they're all to blame, they've all made mistakes, which is a valid point. You need to give me an argument for all of them, which will be very difficult to do in one paragraph. So you might need to write a couple of paragraphs if you're going to try to blame more than one person, okay? But if you want to put the blame on one person, this is your opportunity. You can write one paragraph doing that, okay? Who do you believe is to blame for their death, okay? And you're going to write your response here. So this is a journaling, so you can talk about yourself. You can say, I think this, I blame this person in reading this. You can even relate to yourself if you want to in some way, if you want, okay? Because it's a journal, okay? If it was an essay, informative or argumentative or something like that, you would not use the I or me or we, okay? But since it's a journal, you're welcome to do that, okay? Any questions on this? Okay. Let's go back to our sorry, I've got a new casting system for the TV and I have to click 4 times to make it change screens. Okay, so going back to the agenda, kind of reviewing what we're doing today. So number 1, you are reading or watching Act 5 of Romeo and Juliet. You're updating your character analysis assignment, and you are doing the journal activity. Those are due today, but if you are Group B, if you're Group A at home, you get a work day tomorrow, so you make sure you get all this caught up. So if you don't finish everything, that's okay, but you should at least get it started. Group A students in here, or Group B students in here, you're switching up. Group B students in here, you'll be watching the movie tomorrow and then have a work day on Tuesday, okay? Any questions on what we are doing today from anyone in the class or on the Google Meet? Okay. I did attendance manually, so